This is Shifu. It's not a name, but it simply means teacher. And that's what I have always been, and what I want to be for you, hopefully. This is my passion. Soul science. No gods, no robes, no homework. I found that most people point at the moon and spend their whole life studying their finger. And at some point, I got tired of the pointing games. I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. What we are going to be talking about in this podcast is this: intelligent design with no architect, pure awareness folded between every electron, every heartbeat, every question. It's the space in between the in-between. Everything that doesn't exist but seems like it does. The vastness within your own mind, which cannot be quantified or counted. Science calls it quantum. Religion calls it mystery. I say it's obvious that both are wrong, and they have been for a very long time. My whole life I have switched hats. Marine, information technology, professional musician, martial arts instructor, trucker, father. The only thing that never changed is the quiet questioning underneath the ego that never got answers. Soul science is me finally speaking up from that place, from that previous person. My spiritual journey did not ever really begin. It just always was. It is not the same for everyone, but mine is definitely ongoing. I graduated a small Bible college, magna cum laude, late in life, then earned a master's in divinity and a master of arts in religion in 2010. I took those studies very seriously. Scripture, theology, ancient texts. I wrote a book on Koine Greek scripture and eventually published The New Hesychasm, which took me 20 years to release. After graduation, I spiritually hyperventilated. My overdrive burned me hard from 8 years of studying like an animal. I stepped away completely. I went to a music trade school. I took a 10-year hiatus from anything religious except teaching my 5 kids what I could. I let myself decompress, but still had tons of inertia to burn away. I left information tech, took a 2/3 paycheck cut, and became a musician for a decade. Taught martial arts, drums, became an actor and short-term director. Anything to distill the compression. And yet, questions returned. Not things theology could answer, but bigger ones, huge ones. Questions I dared not tell anyone. Questions that were born of pure curiosity, fascination, and intrigue. Then the questions became passion. They fell over the cliff when I started really studying the Hebrew of the Jewish scriptures and returning to the Greek, then studying the translated cuneiform tablets from Mesopotamia. Things kind of blew up from there, and it occurred to me, a paradigm-shifting thought. Quantum is not just beyond science. It is where science runs out of words. Why do electrons spin? Why do photons know their path? Not how, but why. I wanted to know scientifically, what is spirit? What is the spiritual world? And I didn't want some lame religious answer either. Heck, I was trained in all those answers. I didn't want classic apologetics. I wanted truth, answers, meat and potatoes. Because in the end, everything is science, even the things we cannot measure yet, because we don't have the advancement or the tools. And this is where my thoughts on soul science began. It's not to regurgitate long-lost concepts or rehash new ones. It's a way to say, there is no air between science and spirit. Not really. Only in our heads. There's no dichotomy at all, actually. Meanwhile, on fire with this question, In my spare time, I studied Hinduism and found it deeply appealing. I waded into an ocean of near-death experience stories, life between life sessions, past life regression therapies, hundreds of cases, books, videos, personal testimonies of friends and acquaintances. Yet, it left me with more questions than answers. My mantra regarding finding some missing truth or key to a puzzle: if it creates more questions than it answers, even if questions still remain, it's probably not the truth. If it cleanly answers everything, then it is. Eventually, Buddhism drew me in, but not as religion, rather as philosophy. It gave me tools to eventually answer, what is spirit? What is the spirit world? But without baggage, although by itself, Buddhism does not remotely even attempt to address those questions. A book is in progress on this, built on Buddhism's 5 aggregates. It will be out whenever it's ready and not before. It's groundbreaking, and I will be pulling concepts from it along the way. Meanwhile, this channel is not about finding final answers. Anyone claiming to have all the answers has already proven they do not. It is about sitting with questions together. No fingers pointed, just the moon. Finally looking up, finally seeing what is, not what we want to see, and finally not arguing about the finger. I don't know about you, but I sense a shift. Younger folks, all of us, are tired of 30-second answers and religious sensationalism. You are not broken just because religion feels hollow to you. You are not going to hell simply because you missed church last Sunday. You are not lost because science feels cold to you. You are human, but you are much more than that. And what that is, well, that's precisely what this channel is about. I hope you'll join me in my journey. Tell me in the comments below if you are feeling this shift. I'll read every single one, and I promise to interact. Together, we are turning the volume down. That tug you feel is not nostalgia. It is memory of life before bodies, before names, before ego, before self. I sit shotgun while you chase your answers. No agenda, no cult, just conversation while we remember what we already know. Thanks for being here. Hit subscribe if this resonates. And if you like the content, please hit like and share this with someone who needs it. That's free. And it really helps out this channel by getting the attention of the algorithm. We will go deeper next video.